What's up, guys? I'm JJ,
I'm Javier.
and this is PM Football. Week 5. What does that mean? It's time for some power rankings.
Oh, I was about to say I'm really happy you didn't make me answer because I had no idea where that.
Oh,
was
you
going.
didn't even know what we were about to do?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
just woke up.
Oh. Well, we're going to do some power rankings today. We're not doing the whole league. We're going to do the top 10.
Yeah.
We did this preseason, who
Yeah.
we thought our top 10 teams were. But now that we're 5 weeks through the season.
Mine looks pretty different than our preseason one. I'll be honest.
What am I talking about? It is week 5.
Yeah.
We're not 5 weeks through the season. We're 4 weeks through the season.
Yeah.
Starting week 5, let's do some power rankings.
Yeah. I would like to say this was harder to make than the preseason list, in my opinion.
Yeah, because you see all the teams' records, and you're like, wait.
Because you
is
don't
that
want to,
team
and you
better?
also don't want to overreact to something because, like, record wise, and it was just a little more difficult than our preseason one.
I
We're
agree.
gonna do it like how we did our preseason one, where we just name our top 10 and then we discuss what we think.
Yeah.
So I will start. My 10th best team in the NFL right now is the Pittsburgh Steelers. At 9, I have the Chiefs. At 8, I have the Packers. At 7, I have the Colts. At 6, I have the Chargers. At 5, I have the Buccaneers. At 4, I have the Rams. At 3, I have the Lions. At 2, I have the Bills. And at 1, I have the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champions.
All right. My 10th best team in the NFL right now, after 4 weeks in the season, is the LA Chargers. At number 9, I have the Green Bay Packers. At number 8, I have the Seattle Seahawks. At number 7, the Indianapolis Colts. At 6, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. At 5, I have the Bucks. At 4, I have the Lions. At 3, I have the Rams. At 2, I have the Bills. And 1, I have the Eagles.
Okay. So
They're not
it's
too far
more
off.
similar than I thought it would be,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting.
So our biggest difference from
I don't have Seattle. That's the first thing that
you don't have Seattle, I don't have the Steelers.
Okay.
So
You have Seattle at 7, right?
I have Seattle at 8.
Okay.
We both had the Colts at 7.
Yes.
I have Seattle at 8. Their only loss right now is to the 49ers.
Yes.
And
Was Mac Jones playing that game yet?
Brock Purdy.
It was
It's
Brock
week 1.
Purdy? Okay. I mean, let's just address the elephant in the room. Why you have them and I don't. In my opinion, it all has to do with the quarterback.
Who has not looked bad this year. He has been exactly what he needed to be.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan
But
of Sam Darnold.
you sat here and talked to me and told me that you think Daniel Jones is the answer.
As of now, Daniel Jones has looked better than Sam Darnold.
But Sam Darnold had done it in back-to-back years now. Daniel Jones hasn't been relevant since they made the playoffs that one time.
Look, I understand it sounds crazy, especially coming from me, who is a very, very proud Daniel Jones hater. I think Daniel Jones offers more, especially utilizing his legs, a lot more than Sam Darnold.
Sure.
That's why I would have him.
I also
ahead of
think that
Sam
the
Darnold.
Seahawks are... We're not even just talking about quarterbacks, though, when we come to power rankings. Their team is better. I think Seattle has better defense, and I think they have better offensive weapons.
I think Daniel Jones, and I know we're talking about teams, but I just want to say Daniel Jones has elevated his team more than Sam Darnold has.
Sure. I still think the Seahawks... And if the Seahawks and the Colts played today, I think the Seahawks beat them.
I disagree. I think the Colts would win.
Well, that's why we have them differently.
Yeah.
10, though, you have the Steelers.
Yeah.
I don't have the Steelers on my list. Why do you feel like the Steelers are the 10th best team in the league right now?
And this is really
And just before you start, they're 2-2, right?
3-1.
They're 3-1.
They're first place in the
Yeah.
division.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's several teams that could have gone here. Honestly, the Seahawks could have gone here at 10 for me. It's just, I don't know. I think with what they have and what they've done to me, and I feel like for a lot of people, they have slightly overexceeded the expectations for the first weeks, and I feel like you kind of have to respect that, especially being first in your division. I feel you kind of just have to give them that nod of, okay, you could be a top 10 team.
Yeah. So do you have the Chargers on your list?
They're at 6 for me.
Okay, so you have them a lot higher than I do.
You have them at 10.
I have them at 10. I have the Chargers at 10. The only reason they would have been a lot higher, I think, if it wasn't for that Giants game. That Giants game just really kind of excuse me.
I agree, I agree. To me, they would be easily a top 4 team if it wasn't for that Giants.
I mean, they'd be undefeated.
Yeah,
But I just think
yeah, they'd probably be my number 3 team in the league right now.
I understand the situation that game was involved with. It was a new quarterback with the Giants. There's a lot of expectations and
The
hope.
Giants have a good defense.
They do. And I think that there was just a lot of hope of the fans being at home. Everyone's excited to see a new quarterback in there. So, yes, I think there were a lot of like outliers in that game that wouldn't be in a typical normal game that kind of made that game weird.
Yeah.
But if you are a top 5 team, top 4 team like we're talking about, you don't lose to the Giants.
I agree, but quick counter. Every team has a game like that where it's just like there's no reason to lose to that team. I think this was one of those games. I don't expect this kind of performance from the Chargers every week. I think it was just one of those games like wasn't your day. Like there's just no excuse for it. You just played poorly.
So I think another reason that I have them as low as I do, and it's not even like I have them low. I have them at 10. They're the 10th best team in the league. The reason I have them at 10, though, is they lost Joe Alt in that game.
Yeah.
That now leaves them lost
Both your starting tackles.
both starting tackles.
Tough out there, man.
I mean, they're the guys that are playing in place of them are playing okay, but I just don't think I can have them any higher than 10, knowing that they don't have both of their bookend tackles protecting your franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert.
You know what? I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
And their defense has played well this year.
Hold on.
I still just don't think it's a very. I won't go to say that it's not a good defense.
It's a good defense.
It's a top 15 defense, 17 defense. Like I don't think it's anything outstanding.
I get you. I do want to kind of defend myself here. I did make this list yesterday before the Joe Alt news came out, so probably maybe we'll went a step or two lower if that news came out yesterday. But I don't hate them at 6 here. Like before this Giants game, we were talking about them being easily,
I agree,
easily a top 4 team in the league. Yes, it's very unfortunate that you lost to the Giants, who's one of the worst teams in the league. But like I said, I think it's just one of those games that every team in the league has every year where it's just like there's no reason we should have lost that game.
Yeah, and that point brings me to my next team, who I have at 9, the Green Bay Packers. They're in back-to-back weeks. They lose to the Cleveland Browns.
Speaking about a team easily, without a question, a top 3 to 5
we were
team.
talking about them being the Super Bowl favorite.
Yes.
And
in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, they're number 9.
It just pisses me
What do you
off.
have them at?
I have them at 8, so we're pretty close.
I have them at 9, yeah.
We're pretty close.
So, you lose to the Browns, similarly to how I am saying this about the Chargers.
Somehow tied to Dallas.
And that game, the
I
clock
don't know
management
how.
at the end of that game might have been one of, and I mean, we say this all the time about coaches with clock management, and just it just amazes me of how some of these people have jobs.
And it's wild because at least during the game, there's a lot of duties and things you have to do as a head coach. During the game itself, one of, if not your biggest responsibility during the game, manage that clock and your timeouts correctly. So it's crazy to me when a LaFleur, a Dan Quinn, just talking about personal experience, and other coaches don't know how to manage the clock in their timeouts.
Yeah.
It baffles me.
So, to me, I don't know if it was just me. I wanted to know what you think too.
Mm-hmm.
Did it not seem like that they thought that the game was going to continue?
It almost does seem like that because it was just so nonchalant.
Yeah,
how they went about those final
and
few
secondly,
seconds.
if you watch that last play when when Love's just kind of like walking around, he tried to call timeout.
Yeah,
they didn't have any timeouts.
Yeah,
so
horrible awareness.
He looked bad on himself for doing that.
Yeah,
but also bad on LaFleur for not having his team know they don't have any timeouts left.
Yeah. I mean, even, yes, LaFleur should absolutely be to blame, but Jordan Love, you are a veteran quarterback. You're one of the highest paid players in the entire league. You shouldn't have your coach holding your hand.
Yes, I agree.
Hey, Jordan, by the way, we don't have any timeouts and there's a few seconds here. No, dude, you're one of the highest paid players in the entire league. You should know what the situation is every single down.
It just kind of seemed like they were playing for the tie.
Yeah, which if I was a Green Bay fan, and even as a Dallas hater, I'm furious about.
Well, and I'm sure the most mad person out about all of this is Michael Parsons. You go into Dallas and you tie against the team that traded you away.
Didn't play his best game. Didn't play bad, but
there's no way that was a sack either.
I mean,
he tackled him at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
that's a 0-yard gain, no sack.
Yeah,
it was a storybook.
I was really hoping for Green Bay to just absolutely dismantle Dallas. Michael Parsons to have 3+ sacks. Like, I really wanted that to be the story of this game, and it just wasn't.
So, going back to the rankings, the reason I do have the Packers ahead of the Chargers is because their 2 wins were against a team that I have at number 4 in the Lions, and they beat the Commanders handedly.
Okay, yeah, I can't argue that. Yeah.
So, could you maybe interchange the Chargers Packers? Sure. On paper, statistically, they have less wins than the Chargers.
Yeah.
Chargers have a terrible loss. So do the Packers.
I would say the Packers lost to the Browns. Like, just forget about tying to Dallas. That's bad. But the week prior, you lost to a team that, going into that week, guaranteed top 2, top 3 picks.
That was just such a weird game.
But that's how I feel about the Chargers.
They were up 10 points. I mean, but the problem with the Chargers game, the only reason that I will say it was different than the Chargers-Giants game, talking about the Packers and Browns game, the Packers were up 10 points in that game.
I think that's what makes it even worse, which is why I have them lower.
But the Chargers
were up by 10.
Yeah, but the Chargers were never up in that game at all.
Yeah, I get that, but they were away, and
so were the Packers.
Like, yes, you were playing catch-up the whole time. I'd rather... I don't want to be in either situation. I know this might sound stupid. I don't want to be in either situation. But if I were to lose a game, I'd rather play catch-up than blow a 10-point lead late in the fourth quarter to one of the worst teams in the league.
The Packers threw that game away.
Yes.
That's what happened.
Yes.
They got too complacent and threw that game away. Number 8, I have the Seahawks.
Don't even have them on my list.
You don't have the Seahawks? Yeah, we talked about the Seahawks a little bit already. Who do you have at 8? The Packers?
The Packers, yeah.
Okay.
No, I had Chiefs at 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have the Chiefs at 6. Okay. So let's talk about them for a minute.
Okay.
I understand having them that low. They're 2-2. Yeah. So that's fair.
And they looked bad before Xavier Worthy came back. Like, I know that's kind of dumb to say because, like, no outside. I don't expect you to win many games with no outside help, and that's exactly what happened. They had no outside help. But to me, just the way they looked, you needed to be more convincing. Like, it was bad. Like, it was just bad the way they lost games. They just looked nothing like themselves, which is why I have them as low as I do, just because without outside help, it was just it was just god awful. Yeah. It was unwatchable. But now you have Xavier Worthy back. Rashee Rice should be coming back in a couple of games. So I do expect them to kind of build momentum and kind of be closer to what they were before this season.
So I misspoke. I have them at 6.
Okay.
But
did our 6 and 9 just swap pretty much?
You have who at 9? The Packers?
The Chiefs. Oh, wait, you had Packers at 6.
I have the Packers at 9.
Okay, I have the Chiefs 9, Chargers 6, so that's on me.
Chargers have a 10. You the Steelers at 10.
Back to the Chiefs.
Though. Chiefs, I have at 6. Very much so because of what you're saying. Their 2 losses on the year are to the Chargers and the Eagles. Both teams that I have in my top 10.
Fair.
Eagles being at number 1. And that was a close game that they very much could have won if Travis Kelce could catch a football.
He pisses me off too,
But I'm just saying they're a drop away from probably winning a game against the number 1 team on my current list.
You know what? That's fair. You know what? That's a good point. I can't even argue that.
They are picking up steam. Mm-hmm. They just steamrolled the Ravens.
Yeah, which if you would have told me before the season started
Ravens
that
not being
I am very comfortable with not having the Ravens in my top 10.
Yeah.
Maybe even not even maybe. Definitely not in my top 15, 16.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no shot.
Yeah.
But
I just think
It's bad, man.
when you're talking specifically power rankings, you have to account for what is happening right now.
Yes, absolutely.
And right now, they may be the biggest riser so far of the season. From starting 0-2, they go to 2-2. They beat the Ravens, who were pretty much viewed as, if
One of
not
the
the
favorites,
team,
yeah.
the other team to be the favorite in the AFC to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they beat them bad.
Yeah.
So I just think getting Worthy back, one game with him back, look what happens. You beat the Ravens by 17 points, right?
Something like that. It wasn't close.
And you're 4 points away from beating the Eagles
Yeah.
without Worthy.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned they're getting Rashee Rice back, who is that offense when he is on the field.
Yeah.
He gets like 10 targets a game on that team.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They will always be. I'll be honest with you. If the Chiefs were sitting at 1-3 right now, they're probably in my top 10.
Really?
Yeah. They are just a team.
I can't put a 1-3 team in my top 10. I'm sorry.
It was hard for me not to put the Ravens in there, but
Really?
they are just not good right now. And
I have
and
no issue
with
with
the
the
other
Ravens,
teams being the record that they are, that is a big reason as to why I couldn't put them on the list. But
I can't put a team that is sub 500 in my top 10. Regardless of the
Yes.
circumstance, who they played. You could have played
Sure.
Bills, Lions, Packers, back to back to back, whatever. I'm not putting you in my top 10 if you're below 500.
well, they did play Bills, Lions, Chiefs.
Regardless, I'm not putting. If you're below 500, you could play Jesus. I'm not putting you in my top 10 if you're below 500. It's not happening.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that.
And regardless, back to the point of the Chiefs. They're at 6 for me. I think with them getting back all of those pieces, I think we'll be getting back to seeing what the Chiefs are. Their defense has been good throughout the whole season. It's just the offense has been sputtering, and it makes sense because they don't have anybody to throw the ball to. And their run game is non-existent. Patrick Mahomes is leading the team in rushing yards right now.
Yeah.
You know who led the team in rushing yards last week?
Who?
Worthy.
Yeah, I mean, he's dynamic, man.
When your quarterback's
Y'all
leading your
again, the Bills trading a key player to the Chiefs. So I have zero sympathy for your fan
No,
base.
I mean,
You
but
guys
the
do it to
problem,
yourselves.
it's more so just showing how bad the run game is for the Chiefs.
I mean, yeah, I agree there. I was never a Pacheco fan.
Yeah.
Even when he was so-called good, I was never on Pacheco. I was never a fan of his.
You know what? A trade completely off topic. A trade that needs to happen.
What?
Well, it can't
Alvin
now.
Kamara to the Chiefs. I agree. I completely agree.
I pray to God it doesn't happen.
That would be cool to see. I mean, not for you, obviously, but for an NFC person, why not?
Yeah. So you have who at 6?
I have the Chargers at 6.
Okay.
We both have the Colts at 7, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Colts. I mean, we can talk about them a little bit.
I mean, they've just exceeded all of our expectations.
Very much so.
Yeah. I mean, from Daniel Jones hater, a Colts non-believer, I can't argue with what is being shown.
Yeah.
Like, they just look completely different than what we thought they were going to look.
And I mean, that defense, it looks
Yeah.
like a top 10 defense.
Yes.
Top 5 defense, potentially.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, let's say, 5 more weeks from now, they move up a little bit in these rankings. Like, they look solid.
And I mean, the thing that's really keeping that team as good as it is they're able to run the ball.
They're just very well coached.
And they're able to win the time of possession, and that's why they're just dominating these teams they're playing. Their only loss this year is to the Rams in LA.
Yeah.
And they won that game if AD doesn't drop or
about
fumble
to
the
say
ball.
that. I was literally about to say that, man.
The Colts would be undefeated right now.
Yeah.
And probably be my number 3 team in the league.
They'd probably be a top 5 team if they were undefeated. Not probably. They absolutely would be a top 5 team for me if they were undefeated still.
They're a play away from being undefeated.
Yeah.
When
Crazy.
everybody before the season was talking about them being a top 5 pick 100%.
I will admit that. Absolutely. It did not look positive at all before the season. They have just completely flipped. My perception of them, I feel like just everyone in general's perception of them,
Yeah.
for sure.
5, you have
The Buccaneers.
the Bucks. Okay, I have the Bucks at 6. Or no, I also have the Bucks at 5. I'm sorry.
Okay.
On my sheet, I had the Chiefs at 5 and the Bucks at 6, but I
then you
flipped
swapped.
them. But I never really flipped them. I just wrote arrows, so I keep getting myself mixed up.
I mean, they're solid, man.
I have the Bucks at 5 as well.
They're just. I never understood the Todd Bowles hate. Like, all he has shown you year after year is that he's consistently a great coach that makes his players fight for him and for each other.
Yeah.
Like, they're very well coached. There's a lot of talent on that team. Kind of like Daniel Jones, as someone who is a former Baker Mayfield non-believer, just completely made me switch my perception of him. Like, I mean, he's that dude. He's not I wouldn't put him in the elite category, but you win games because of him. Absolutely.
Your only loss is to the number 1 team on my list.
Yeah.
And it was a competitive game. At least
Is that the one where the kick was blocked, or am I tripping?
No, that was this past week. They were
For
down
the
by
Eagles?
the Eagles Bucks. It was this past week.
Yeah,
They
you're
were
right,
down
you're right,
by
you're right.
quite a
That's what I mean.
bit because the Eagles didn't throw a ball.
Yes, you're right.
So like the Eagle, I'm not saying the Eagles kind of conceded the game because they had already won it, but they kind of did. They didn't throw the ball the
They-
entire second half of the game, and they kind of let the Bucks back into the game.
No, they did throw the ball. It's just Jalen Hurts didn't
Complete a pass.
complete a single pass.
I think they only threw the ball like 6 times though.
he went like 0 for 8.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. They won.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
back to the Bucks. The Bucks only lost to the Eagles, being
Mm-hmm.
number 1. They're a good team. I agree with you. Bowles is a great coach. They're missing Mike Evans still too.
Yeah.
So and Ibuka. He might already
what I
by the
tell
end of
you.
the season might be a top 10 receiver.
What I didn't think he'd be a top 10 receiver, but I did. He was my number 2 receiver in the entire draft process. I had him ahead of Travis Hunter, and I was just like, just his route running, his ability to make plays. It's so smooth, and he's so consistent with it. And I remember telling you consistently, telling everyone that by the time his rookie contract ends, he's gonna be a top 3 slot in the league.
Yeah.
Like, he is so good.
Now
He's showing it.
I think a lot of it. I'm not saying it was luck, and this is gonna sound bad. Jason McMillan getting injured in preseason
Absolutely,
when it
and
happened.
even Chris Godwin's injured.
Chris
Like,
Godwin being
absolutely,
injured.
that has things to do
Mike
with
Evans
it.
being injured.
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
He's had a lot of opportunities to show that he is
and
a
he
guy,
stepped up to the
and he
plate.
has really stepped up to the
Yeah.
plate. But the only thing I wanted to say was that a lot of things fell in place for him to
Yeah.
be in the position that
I
he's
wouldn't
in.
argue that. Yeah,
4. I have the Lions.
I have the Rams and the Lions at 3.
I have them flipped.
Okay, so why do you have the Rams ahead of the Lions?
So, again, with the same as the Bucks, the only loss that the Rams have this year is to the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly,
Yeah,
where they had a 2-score lead
yeah.
and they blew that game away. They have, I won't say dominated every other game that they've played, but they've won every other game. The Eagles are just that team that can come back and beat you, and they did. If they win that game, they're the undefeated team.
Yeah.
And they'd be in my top 2. But they didn't win. So, and just because there's no other undefeated teams, the Bills and the Eagles being the only teams, the Rams to me are the 3rd best team.
Now, for me, I feel like the Lions' offense is more dynamic than the Rams. No shade towards the Rams. Obviously, they're my 4th best team in the league. I feel like right now the Lions have a more well-rounded, more dynamic offense. I will say, absolutely, the Rams have the better receivers. I don't think there's an argument about that. I just think the Lions could score in more different ways than the Rams. And I think their defense is better than the Rams, which I didn't think I would say before the season, because going into the season, the Rams defense has just looked elite last year, and they still look good. I would just take I think the Lions defense looks a little better. For those 2 reasons, I have them slightly ahead of the Rams, but I'm not mad at I wouldn't necessarily argue the Rams being ahead of them.
I actually kind of disagree with you. I don't think the Rams or the Lions offense is better. Why do you say they are?
They just score in so many different ways. They're so dynamic. All their players are dynamic, and I don't want it to sound
But the
like
Rams aren't?
that. Can you let me finish? I was really about to say I don't want it to sound like that the Rams aren't, but you can't utilize the Rams offensive players the way you utilize the Lions offensive players.
How so?
They run better, they catch better. You could just move them. You can move them more as chess pieces compared to the Rams. Again, I don't want it to sound like that the Rams offense is boring or untrustworthy. They are my fourth best team. They have a very exciting offense. They have a great defense. They have a great team. They could go to the NFC Championship game. Like, they are a really good team.
Now,
I just feel like you could use the Lions' offensive players more as chess pieces and do different things with them compared to the Rams.
Now, I think the thing that is really separating these two teams, for me at least, is, and I know this is going back to the beginning of the season, but the Lions got embarrassed by the Packers.
By the Packers in week 1 at a time where the Packers looked like they could have been the best team in the entire league.
But the Rams have not been embarrassed by any team, and they almost beat the best team.
Yes. That's fine.
So, I mean, I just thought it was very obvious that that was 3.
No, I would.
I think they
I
played
think if they played today, I think it'd be very
I
close.
think the Rams win.
I would have the Lions win.
I think and I disagree with you saying the defense was flipped. I think the Rams still have a better defense.
I don't know. I think the Lions defense has looked a little better. And again, I don't want to sound like that the Rams don't have a great defense. They have an amazing defense. One of the best defensive lines in the league. I just think the Lions have showed more defensively than the Rams.
I mean, I can see arguments for both.
I can too. Like, I'm not mad with the Rams being ahead of the Lions.
The only thing I can't get behind is I really do think the Rams are the third best. Because, like, I can understand I understand the argument. I just don't think I agree with the argument.
That's fine.
They've only lost to the Eagles. And they should have won that game.
I really wanted them to. They needed to. That's what pisses me off.
But so you're just holding a grudge against them?
No. I'm like, it is like, it's the Eagles. Like, it sucks you lost that game, but they're both our number ones for a reason. Like, they just find ways. Harry Roseman does his little voodoo magic, and they end up getting the results. So,
Snap
like,
his fingers and they win.
Yeah, like, I'm more mad at the Packers at this point. So that's fine.
For
tying against Dallas, like, what's it? I don't want to backtrack, but Packers right now, and for the week prior losing my pick 'em.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, that's what I'm more mad at the Packers than the Rams. But regardless, on to our 2-1. We both have the same. Bills at 2, Eagles at 1.
I really wanted to put the Bills at 1.
There's no reason to put the Bills at 1.
I agree.
Yeah.
I wanted to, but I can't.
Yeah.
The Eagles have found ways to beat all the teams that they've played, same as the Bills. But the Eagles have had a tougher schedule.
And not only that, it's just kind of the same when we had, it was probably last season where we had the discussions and debates where the Bills were better than the Chiefs. My thing was always, I cannot put you ahead of them until you beat them. Like, beat them. Beat them, make them lose, then I could put you ahead. It's like that with the Eagles for me. Like, until they lose a game, I can't put another team ahead of them. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. They haven't lost a game in, 18, 19 games? Mm-hmm. They haven't lost. I just cannot, even if a team looks better, until the Eagles lose a game, I cannot put a team ahead of the Eagles.
I think if the Bills just had a tougher schedule,
a cupcake of a schedule, which I think is going to come back to bite you guys in the butt when it comes to playoff time.
I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people are looking at the Bills currently like they were looking at the Chiefs last year. Like they were just winning those close games. Like how are you guys winning these games?
No, I don't think people are viewing the Bills like that. I think people are just viewing the Bills of, not that every game's a preseason game, but it's kind of just like,
we're kind of just going through the motions.
Yes, absolutely. It's more of just like, it's not that you guys are finding ways to win the close games. It's just like, okay, yeah, sure, you're gonna win that game. You're supposed to win that game. Like, you're not playing anyone good.
So the thing that's really interesting for me is, I will admit, the Bills have looked terrible in their past 2 games. I will say terrible. They have not played good football.
I wouldn't.
But you want to know the funny thing?
Convincing.
They've won both those games by more than 10 points.
Yeah, I would hope so. It was the Saints and who? The
Dolphins
and the Saints.
But
sure.
But if you play a terrible game in the NFL, you're not supposed to win by 10 points. I understand you're playing a bad team.
Washington looked awful against New York. killed them and they just beat the Chargers. They're nowhere near my top 10 because they shouldn't be. It doesn't matter if you found a way to get it done. Look who you went up against.
But that's the point, is the Chargers played a bad game,
yeah.
and they lost.
Yeah.
The Bills have played 2 bad games, and have still won by 10-plus points.
Who are they going against?
You can't make that argument, though, because you just made the argument of the Chargers losing to the Giants.
Going into the week against Miami, Tua played his best game against your defense. Going into this week, Spencer Rattler played his best game against your defense.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever your defense plays, that quarterback plays his best game. Lamar Jackson, and I know this isn't the same as Tua and Spencer Rattler, but he played his best game against your defense.
Mm-hmm.
The only pattern I'm seeing is if you go against the Bills defense, your quarterback most likely is going to play his best game.
And we still won every game except the
Because
Ravens
you're
game
not
by 10 points.
Going against anyone. You're not going against
So why does it
anyone.
matter if they play their best game if we still win by 10 points?
Look, and that's not even my argument. Like, you know my rule. Who cares how you won? You won the game, right? That's all that matters. That was my whole argument with the Hail Mary last year with Washington and all these close games with Washington. I don't care how we won. You go win the game. That's all that matters to me. I'm simply saying when it comes to the playoffs and you actually play actual competition, that's when I think you will start to see things unfold. And I'm not saying you guys are going to get knocked down the wild card or even in the divisional, but I think once you come to the AFC Championship game, maybe even
Against
the
the Colts.
Super Bowl, you're not going to have the calluses built. You're not going to have that experience of adversity together in the season to be able to go over that hump.
At this
That's
point,
all I'm saying.
At this point, we might be playing the Colts in the AFC Championship game.
Definitely not happening. It's gonna be the Chiefs. Like they find a way. They just find a way. Much like the Eagles, they just find a way.
I just went back and looked at. I mean, no, I have 3. I was looking at my list again. I only have 3 AFC teams in this list.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5, but I have 1 in my top 5 though, and it's the Bills, obviously.
Oh no, I'm lying. I have 4.
I have one. I only have 1 AFC team in my top 5, and it's the Bills.
Yeah.
But it's like what I've been saying since last year. The NFC is the better conference. Yes, the AFC has better quarterbacks.
Yes.
I don't think anyone would argue that. It would be silly if anyone argues that. But when it comes to overall teams and competition, the NFC has the better teams. And I don't even think it's a debate, honestly.
Sure.
I've been saying that since last year, but I was called crazy for some reason.
I mean, the Chiefs have dropped.
Yeah.
The Ravens have dropped.
Severely.
The Bengals are non-existent right now. Like, just
Yeah.
those 3 teams alone were supposed to be with the Bills up at the top like that.
No, it's the Colts.
It's the Colts
Competing with
and the
y'all.
Chargers.
Yeah. But all I was simply saying was that, yes, you guys are beating teams, and again, that's all that matters. That's all that should matter is the result. Who cares how you do it? Just get the job done. But I think once it comes time to, okay, now we're only facing good teams, it's going to come back to bite you guys.
We're going to be undefeated until the
chance.
Eagles game. It's going to be us and the Eagles going into the game potentially undefeated.
Maybe.
The game of the year.
We'll see
Game
what
of the
happens.
century.
Not the century.
2
We'll see what happens.
At that point, we would both have to be like 14-0. That might be the game of the century.
It's not going to be game of the century.
14-0 teams against each other.
You guys aren't going to be.
Has that ever
14-0.
even happened?
Definitely not. No, definitely not, because last year was the first time ever where 2 14-win teams played each other. And it was like week 17 between the Vikings and the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely has not happened before, 2 14-0 teams.
Yeah, and then there's really not much to say about the Eagles. We
Like I
already
said,
talked about them.
until they lose, there's no reason to put any team ahead of them.
Yeah, the only thing I'm really concerned about is just our defense. It's really been very wishy-washy to start the season. And again, like you said, we haven't really played anybody, and it's still not looking great.
Yeah, and like I literally said 5 minutes ago, like every quarterback up to the point of playing you guys have played their best game.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just no sign of showing that that's going to stop.
Yeah.
Like I expect Drake May this week to play his best game against your defense.
The only difference is that we got the best quarterback in the NFL.
It's hard to argue that right now. I'm not even going to disagree about that. And
So-
again, back to my argument. All I'm saying is once you actually play good teams, when it's do or die, I think you come back to bite you guys in the butt.
The biggest problem I'm having with our team right now is that we get into these games against bad teams, and we kind of do like what we were talking about earlier with like we're kind of just going through the motions.
Nah, you know I have it. You know who you guys are? You guys are the, let me make sure I get the years right, the 2014 to 2016 Washington Wizards. You play to your competition, feel nice about yourself. Oh, we could do it. We could actually do it. You play competent competition, and it all just goes down.
But that's not even true.
Yes, it is. Yes, that's
It's literally only the
what
Chiefs.
you guys are.
It's literally only the Chiefs.
I'm just saying that. I'm just saying this year that's what it's gonna be like. You just play to your guys' level, to the level of your competition, and then now it's do or die time. You're playing actual competition, and you just don't live up to expectations.
Hold on, but let me finish what I was going to say.
Sure, go ahead.
We are just going through the motions in these games.
Yes.
And it gets to the point during a game. It happened in the Dolphins game. It happened in the Saints game where we were like, oh, wait a second. This is a game.
Yeah.
We actually need to play.
That's awful, by the way.
I know.
That's terrible.
But that's what I'm saying. We're just like going through, and it's like, Josh, go do it. And he does. It shouldn't have to get to that point.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Name a time a team won the Super Bowl, and it was simply only because their quarterback had to play Superman, and that was the only reason they won the Super Bowl. Bucks? Not true. Had a really good receiving core. Had a solid defense as well.
Big Rock.
Prime Mike Evans. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I don't think anyone should dispute that Josh Allen right now is the best quarterback in the entire NFL. But outside of that, and James Cook, you gotta respect James Cook. He looks amazing, worth every penny of what you signed him for. Outside of that, what's gonna get you over that edge? I don't think you guys have it.
I mean, only time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For all you know, every team you go up against, they have some sort of key injury.
But why does it have to be an injury? Why can't we just beat them?
Because you guys don't have the power to do it.
That's what makes me think. Or I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
I don't
like.
either.
We don't know.
But we
because
JJ,
but
no.
listen.
Stop.
No. Because you just agree with me what I was saying about us playing those bad teams. We're just going through the motions.
Yes.
Imagine us actually playing a game where we have an actual game plan.
Okay.
Going into a game against a really good team. Who's saying we can't beat those people?
Because you don't have a good enough defense or receivers to get it done.
We got the Superman, though.
But name a time, a team,
Cam
like I
Newton.
just said.
Cam Newton. He made it to the Super Bowl.
Did he win the Super Bowl?
No, he played one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
We're not playing one of the best quarterbacks of the all time in the NFC.
Maybe not, but you cannot name a time because you can't
This
do
year.
it. No, you can't do it. You cannot win the Super Bowl with having one guy play Superman. You need a team. A team wins the
James
Super Bowl.
Cook is a very good
Yes,
player.
you have a good quarterback and a good run game. What do you have outside of that? That you could at least say is good.
Kincaid's played well for us this year. I'm not saying he's any like star.
No one is game planning for Kincaid. I hate to break it to
He
you.
keeps scoring touchdowns.
No one's game planning for. Sure, so is Zach Ertz. I don't think anyone's game planning for Zach Ertz.
That's not true.
Yes, that's very true.
Without Terry McLaurin, yeah, they are.
Okay, sure. Without a number one receiver,
Yeah, we don't
Sure.
have one.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's what my point is. They do.
That's my original
Game plan for
point.
Kincaid.
That's my point, though. You don't have any weapons to get over that hump. You just admitted that you don't have the weapons.
There's no one's saying we can't make a move.
All right, sure. Yeah, hypothetically,
Chris
you
Olave.
guys do a crazy
Chris
deadline
Olave.
trade. Sure, if that were to happen and he could survive the hits of his head.
Who else would I
Sure.
want? T. Higgins available?
No, he's not. They just paid him. Regardless, we're never going to agree on this because you're delusional.
No, I have them at 2.
It's not even about that. Do you think you guys are still going to win the Super Bowl?
Yep.
That's delusional. That is absolutely delusional. There's no reason why you guys are going to win it. Your
What will change your
quarterback
mind?
Get actual star power. Like, not even forget the star power. Even if you keep your roster, show me you can have a good defense. Show me you can have reliable weapons. You do that, you could change my mind on that. Until that happens, I wouldn't bet $1 on you guys winning the Super Bowl.
I think you would be mad because they're going to win it.
You said the same thing last year. You said no team in the entire league is having as much fun as the Buffalo Bills.
We still are having that much fun.
You're going to be in the exact same predicament that you were last year then. You're going to go to the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. You guys are going to say, this is the year. We can feel it. This isn't like any of the other years, even though it is. You guys are going to go in, lose in heartbreaking fashion. No one's really going to feel sympathy for you guys because you guys do it to yourselves. And then you go into the offseason saying, oh, but we addressed this, this, and this, even though you really didn't, and have the same expectations that the same thing's going to happen. It's literally the definition of insanity. It's the same thing over and over and over again. You guys think something else is going to happen, and it's really not. It's the same thing this year.
We'll see.
We will see. You're right about that. We will see that. Anything you would like to say before we end this?
Sorry that turned into a Bills TED Talk.
It always does. I feel like every week we just talk like 10 plus minutes about the Bills.
Yeah,
and as we should. It's our
because
show.
we don't have to talk about the team on that side of the table because they're not relevant right now.
Can't even argue that they're not in my top. They're not in anyone's top 10. I don't think they should be. It's not good enough.
At least my team is able to be talked about.
We're going to be talking about them in the AFC Championship game for sure.
And we will be talking about that team when they lose 7 games. Win 7 games.
Josh Allen has lost to the Chiefs 5 times now in the playoffs. Is he ever going to get over the hump? What's this? Josh Allen just requested a trade from Buffalo because he can't win a thing there except the easiest division in the entire league? That's not a shock to anyone because who on earth could win in Buffalo? No one! No one can win in Buffalo.
That thick water is going to taste really good for you.
Maybe. I mean, at this point, this is a real possibility. I'm just happy we changed it from Strummen, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That'll just hurt everyone. Was that what you wanted to say?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the video. Comment. Who do you have in your top 10 power rankings? Comment if you're delusional like JJ and think for some odd reason this year's different for the Bills. Comment if you're delusional and think Washington belongs in the top 10. Washington fans, be better than that. You know we're not. Follow us on TikTok and Twitter at PM Football Podcast. And we appreciate you guys joining us. Join us next week.
See ya.